Hello everyone, welcome back to another SQL problem called users by average session time, and this has been asked in Facebook. It is a medium problem, so let's see what the question is saying. So we have to calculate each user's average session time. A session is defined as the time difference between a page load and page exit. For simplicity, assume a user has only one session per day, and if there are multiple sessions of the same events on that day, consider only the latest page load and earliest page exit. Okay, so we'll take the max of this and min of page exit with an obvious restriction that page load time should happen before exit time. Makes sense? And then we have to output the user ID with their average session time. Okay, so let's take a look at the input table. So this is what we have, and the data is not sorted. So let's sort it by user ID and timestamp. So the data is now sorted. Let's look at the data. So if you look at the data, so for user ID 0, this is the data for user ID 0. We have two dates, 25 and 28. So we'll have to extract the date and time from this timestamp column. And let's look at the data for 25th. So this is the data. So what is the latest page load time on 25th for user ID 0? So the latest one is this 13:30:18. This is the maximum or latest time. And so we will take the maximum of time column. And we will create the time column and date column from this timestamp. And for the page exit, what is the earliest page exit? It was done at 13:31:40 on 25th for user ID 0. So what we will do is we'll take the max of page load, min of page exit, and we will also bifurcate this timestamp into date and time. And we will do a group by on user ID and date column. Yeah, so let's start with this. So let's first of all, what we can do is let's filter the records. Let's select user ID and let's cast the timestamp as date, and we will call it date, and then we will cast timestamp as time, and we will call it time. And also we will take the action from this table, and we will do a where action is equal to action in page load comma page exit. So let's run this. So as you can see, for user ID 0 on 25th, on 25th, we have bifurcated the data, the timestamp into date and time. And this is for 28th for user ID 0. So now what we will do is we will do a group by on date and user ID, and we will pick the max time for the page load and the min time for page exit. And we'll create two new columns, page load time and page exit time, using the case when function. So let's see how we can do that. So let's put this into a CD, and now we can do select user ID. We can select the date, and we will do a case when action is equal to page load. Then we will pick the max of time, and we will call the column as page load time. And similarly, we will do it for the page exit time, but we will do a min and we will replace it with exit and we will call it page exit time. And then we'll do a from T1 and then we will do a group by on user ID and date. Now let's run this. Yeah, we'll do a group by on action as well. So this is what we got. So as you can see for zero record, for user ID 0, for 25th, we got the page load time. This is the maximum page load time on 25th, and this is the minimum page exit time. So now what we have to do, we just have to group them into a single row. So what we can do is we'll do a group by on user ID and date again. Let's put this into a T2. So I'm breaking this into multiple steps so that you guys can understand. So let's do a select user ID, date, and we will do a max of page load time as page load time and max of page exit time as page exit time, and we'll do a from T2 and then we'll do a group by on user ID and date. So let's see. So as you can see, we have now got a single row for user ID 0 for 25th and a single row for 28th. And this is the page load time and this is the page exit time. Now what we will do is we will calculate the average. Let's call it. I can do that in the same, but let's for the sake of understanding, let's put it into a T3. Do a select user ID, and we will first of all we'll calculate the difference between the page exit and page load time. And the answer I'm expecting is might be in seconds. So let's take a look at the output. So I think this is in seconds. So if we look at this, so this is 35 seconds. If we take a difference of this, and this is also 35. So that's why the average is 35 for user ID 1. So we'll select user ID and we will do a date diff. And we want the seconds. So we'll do a page load time, page exit time. We will take the difference of these two. So this is this minus this, and the result will be in seconds. And we will call it as average. And now what we have to do is we'll have to take the average of this from T3 and we'll do a group by on user ID. So let's run this. So there's an error with incorrect syntax. So where is the syntax error? T3 select user ID And then we have done the average. This is the brackets are correct. This is correct. Near the keyword width. Okay, sorry. So this width will not come here because we have already used it once, and this is separated by commas. So now let's run this again. So yeah, we've got the output, but this is rounded off, right? So this is an integer, but we want it in float. So what we can do is we'll multiply the date difference with 1.0. Let's run this, and yes, we've got the output, but there's still one problem. As you can see, the column that we have calculated, this thing is null here, and we don't want the record with null values here. So now we will remove the user IDs which have average as null. So let's put this into what T4, and we will select star from T4 where AVG is not null. So we got the output. Let's check the solution, and it passed. So it was a good problem, but I've tried to break it down into multiple steps just for the sake that you understand. But still, if you have any doubts, please leave them in the comment section and I will try to resolve them. Thank you.